Hello everyone, welcome to Pikmin. I couldn't get to this on the day it actually released, but I did want to play it. So now that I actually have a slot open, I say we go ahead and start Pikmin. I have quite a bit of history with Pikmin, but I've never actually beaten Pikmin 1 or Pikmin 2 on my own. I've just watched complete LPs. So this is obviously not going to be totally blind, but you know, I want to refresh myself on Pikmin 1 and 2 before we get to Pikmin 4. So, we're gonna speed through these. I say speed, but it's not like I know totally what I'm doing. So, we'll try our best, is a better thing to say. Hey Olimar. How you doing? Gonna get hit by a asteroid? Meteor? I don't know the difference. Bonk. There you go. Boom! And we're falling onto... PNF 404 is, Pikmin World. I always get the Subnautica and Pikmin Worlds mixed up. Because it's, you know, just a collection of letters and numbers, basically, so... Alright, well, Olimar crash-landed. And so... with such a simple opening started one of the most interesting series, in my opinion, that Nintendo has ever made. Pikmin is a treasure, and I'm so happy that it exists. So let's go. What voice should I give you, Olimar? I kinda wanna give you a Zap Brannigan voice. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. Kif. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no. Better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. That's a route for schoolgirls. Alright, so. Pikmin. I have quite a bit of history with this game, as I mentioned. Ooh, can we pull this camera out, or is this... I'm pressing all the buttons, and... Oh, I'm not... I was pretty sure there's a way to pull the camera out, but... I'm pressing, like, every button at my disposal here. And, it doesn't seem to want to pull the camera out, so I guess we're not pulling the camera out. I'm not really sure which version this is based off of. I'm imagining it's based off of the Wii versions. Well, that might not be the case, because with the Wii versions, you could target further. You could, like, extend your range a little bit with the Wiimote. But, alright, let's go ahead and, walk down here. Do we get a map or anything? I don't think we do, right? Not yet, at least? I don't know. So, reset cursor, move, motion controls. Ah, use that to aim while throwing and calling Pikmin. So you can turn the motion controls on. Okay, cool. Just thought I would check that really quickly. I do know they did a bit of, like, a few changes in this. Like, specifically in, like, Pikmin 2. There were a bunch of, like, I don't know if to call it sponsorships or what, but they were like Duracell batteries you could find and stuff, and I know they've like taken those out. God, the onions look so different in Pikmin 1. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my own planet that we call an onion. Shall call this an onion too. Alright, cool. We have no Pikmin, but I can pluck you when you come out. Pikmin. Please. Please. Thank you. We should have hold A to pluck too. I hope to God we do. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. Cannot help but think it is calling to me. I'm compelled. I must approach it and press A. Bonk. Some weird little freak popped out of the ground. Extraordinary. When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it up has no visible damage. It just stands... Picking it has no visible damage. It just stands there staring at me. Shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. Shall try to grab it and throw it with A, then I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to pressing X or moving the right stick while holding L as well. Following controls appear me to allow several viewpoints. Okay, now it'll let me. So, snap camera behind Olimar, left, right, rotate camera, zoom. And up, down. Yeah, I thought there was a way to do that. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. So, there we go. Oh my god, that's so much better. Holy. The camera was so up my ass there. Okay, we're good. But yeah, I have a bit of history with Pikmin, and it's a story that I always really like to tell. So when I initially played this game, I rented Pikmin from Blockbuster when I don't even remember how old I was, but I was quite young. Obviously, I had a GameCube. And I remember getting Pikmin, and I basically always lost. I never beat the game. Not once. And I don't even think I got to the final area, and there's a very specific reason for that. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. Maybe I will take one home and give it to the vixen Leela. Alright. So, there's a reason why I was never able to actually finish Pikmin. And the reason for that is... Okay, we do have auto-pluck. God, thank you. So, woo. Alright, zoom back out, thank you. So the reason was, I basically didn't even play the game in the intended way. What I would do when I played Pikmin when I was younger is I hated having my Pikmin die. Like, I despised it. So basically what I would do is I would not even play Pikmin with the intention of actually finishing in 30 days. I would just basically create this, or treat this as like a sim, like city builder kind of thing, where I would just, every single day, I would spend my entire day feeding my Pikmin and making sure their ranks were max. If I lost any Pikmin in the entire day, I would basically just be like, nope, we gotta get their levels back up. If I lost like 2 Pikmin, I would not try to do anything besides feed my Pikmin. Usually, even if the onion was full and I couldn't produce any more Pikmin, I would still defeat some Bulborbs and bring it back to the onion, because I'm like, well, that's their food for today. Even though they were already at max and had propagated as much as they possibly could. So, yeah, that was me as a kid. And it's the reason I never actually finished the game. Because I treated it more as just... It's kind of wholesome, I guess, if you think about it. That the reason I could never finish the game was because I was just too obsessed with caring for the Pikmin. I mean, wholesome and not wholesome at the same time, because, yeah, I mean, if you don't finish the game in 30 days, I think it gives you, like, an extra day. Multiple times. But, basically, I mean, if you don't finish the game, I mean, Olimar just runs out of oxygen and dies. So, yeah. So it's not the greatest, you know, but that was how I played it. I just liked caring for my little friends here, and getting their numbers up as much as possible, and just giving them food and things. Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I have learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and hold A to pick sprouts, press A to grab Pikmin, release to throw, B to call them, X to dismiss. Move the right stick while holding L to command and control the group. Use ZL or up, down, left, right on the control perspective. Shall record this on my computer and access it with plus. So yeah, it's talking about the little marching we can do. Yeah, so I can make them march, I can also control the camera that way. Okay, how much does this take? That's like my engine, I think? Beautiful. Amazing. There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin? Olimar, you can't talk about emulators in front of Nintendo. They'll get mad. Don't do it. But yeah, basically the whole reason Dolphin's called the emulator is the name of the emulator is I believe there was a very special chip made by, I don't remember who, that was called the Flipper chip, which is basically what made the GameCube work. So that's why, you know, so in development and stuff, there were a bunch of nicknames for the GameCube called, like, Dolphin and stuff, because they would always give them nicknames and stuff like that. And, yeah, that's where the Dolphin emulator got its name, because I think that was the code name for the Nintendo while it was being made. But I know for a fact that the Flipper chip was specifically something that was in the, GameCube, and that's kind of what inspired the name for it, so... Just interesting little trivia on where the name Dolphin and stuff came from and all that jazz. So, once we get all of this stuff back here, we should have enough Pikmin to actually grab that ship part, so we can actually accomplish something of value today, but... God, I love Pikmin. I would not say I'm like... You know, there's a lot of people that I would say are like Pikmin superfans, in that they know the games up and down, and things like that. I am not like that. I do not know the games up and down. I love Pikmin, and I think it's a fantastic series, but I can't call myself a superfan, really. I've always casually enjoyed the series, so... Many Pikmin seeds sprouted once. I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once by holding A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. Notice that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. Yeah. Alrighty. It should give me a tutorial. Actually, did they fix that in this version? I wonder. It would be nice if they fixed that in this version. There's a bug. I'm pretty sure it was in the Wii version. Maybe they fixed it in the Wii version, and if this version's based off of the Wii version, then we don't have to worry about it. But, there was a bug where, at some point we're gonna be making bridges, and you could basically just, like, mass genocide your Pikmin if there were any Pikmin under the bridge when the bridge is completed. Like, they basically, all those just die. And I don't remember if that's in this game or not. But, I know it's a problem on, like, the original GameCube version and stuff like that. So... Go ahead and carry that. Of course, we can put extra Pikmin on something to make it carry faster. I forget the exact ratio. I want to say you can put 1.5 times on there. So 20 is obviously the slowest, but if I put, like, you know, 30 on there, they would carry it back even faster. So that's something to consider. But, yeah. So, it's gonna be pretty wild to actually finish Pikmin. I've seen Pikmin randomizers, I've seen Pikmin playthroughs, I've played Pikmin myself, although I never actually completed it. I can't guarantee I'll be able to do everything. I believe there's like 30 ship parts that we need to collect in 30 days. And a few of those are optional, but I will try to get them if I can, if I have the time. But we'll see. Like I said, I've seen a lot of playthroughs, but I am by no means an expert on this game. And young me was in fact horrible at this game. But young me loved it. I did it. Oh, glorious. With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. Bum, 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 bum. Go away, Pikmin. So the whole thing about Pikmin is, we usually leave before nighttime. Because at nighttime, scary, scary predators come out. And if I have any Pikmin that I didn't collect, if I had any stragglers that were left, not in my group, basically, unaccounted for, it's kind of like if you have units idle in, like, a city builder or something like that. If I have any of those at the end of the day, they will be left behind, and there's an incredibly sad, depressing cutscene where the local fauna eats the Pikmin that you leave behind. And something fun about when I was a kid is if I ever had that happen, I would reset. If a Pikmin got left behind, I would reset. I would be like, nope, not taking that. Not letting my Pikmin get eaten. I hated it too much. So. 1 day since impact. I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts, so it was 30. So, you know, ideally you get 1 part a day. So yeah. Like again, for cover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hakotate. Now that the show's life support systems will function for only 29 more days, how can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? Dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the keys to my survival, I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. There we go. So here we get a little bit of data about how we did. And yeah, this, if I left any behind, this is where I would just turn my GameCube off and reset and do the day again. Because that was the kind of child I was. I didn't finish a lot of games when I was a kid, okay? So we sprouted 23, we lost 0 in battle, and we left 0 behind. So, let's save. We have 1 ship part. Cool, cool. Of course, a first in the series, and so we can go back to the impact site, but we're gonna need to go back there later, I believe. I don't think we should be going back there now. So we're gonna go to the Forest of Hope, because the little stars that you see down there, that shows how many parts are in the area. So there's 1 more part there, which we can go back and get later, and there's also some other fun things there, but we're gonna go to the Forest of Hope. And I guess I can do a second day today. But yeah, and one of the main things that's a big deal in Pikmin 4, for example, is that, contrary to all the other games where you could not explore at night, you can explore at night in Pikmin 4. It's just highly dangerous. The dolphin has returned to the surface along with the Pikmin's onion. Being alone on this strange planet makes me somewhat uneasy, so I shall call the Pikmin out of the onion. All I need to do is stand in the light beneath the onion and press A. Alright, cool. So, go ahead and get all of these. Come on out with me, friends. Cool, cool, cool. So, yeah, we're back. We got a stone wall over here, which I cannot do anything about yet. If I throw a Pikmin at it, it'll just be like, bang. And it's not going to make any progress, and it's going to be very depressed and contemplate its life. So what we are instead going to do is I'm going to throw that at that. One thing that's interesting here is if you throw, I think, a Pikmin right on top of the pellet, they automatically knock the pellet posy down. That is what those flowers are called, I believe. So if I automatically just throw one at the pellet, like right on top of the flower, it just knocks it down for free. Whereas, if I throw one right here, it'll kind of whack it for a little bit, and it'll take a little bit longer to go through. That's also a yellow pellet, so in the previous level we just saw red pellets, so basically, you know, we're going to be getting some other types of Pikmin. You get bonus Pikmin if you match the pellet to the color Pikmin. So that's why with those pellets in the previous level, I was getting 2 Pikmin instead of 1. I got a bonus Pikmin because it was a red pellet, so... What we are going to do now is run our little friends into here. Was it... What was the button? L? There we go, L. Okay. So they're gonna work on breaking that wall. This is like a... I always thought they were bones. I guess they're bones. I don't know. But... Yeah, they're these little walls. We can actually destroy those. It takes a little bit, but we can do it. Something else I can do, this little grass right here, if I throw my Pikmin at it, yeah, they will start pulling up the grass. So that's gonna do something interesting in a second. So we have, like, nectar right there. And, that Pikmin just sucked it up. So, another intriguing discovery. A local variety of grass produces a sort of yellow nectar. When the Pikmin drink this delicacy, they instantly mature into flowers. This apparent Pikmin favorite seems to be full of nutrition. Closer observation is needed to determine the strengths and peculiarities of these flower Pikmin. So, basically there's 3 stages of growth for Pikmin. You have buds, you have, leaves, obviously, and you have flowers. And basically all it determines, if I remember correctly, is just walk speed. So the flower will, walk a little bit faster. You also want as many of them to suck up the nectar as possible, because you'll have a higher chance of just getting more flowers. So, there we go. We have quite a few flowers. We have 2 leaves left. So, that's something. Alright, go ahead and get on there and destroy that, if you would so kindly. Alright, but, yeah, I think I was saying something else, but forgot what it was. This is, also the first day we're going to be dealing with combat, so it's not often people get to see me play a game where I halfway know what I'm doing, so I'm sure I will still make stupid mistakes, as is, usually the case. But, it'll be a little bit better, with me actually kind of knowing what I'm doing here. So, corpses like this, these are, Bulborbs? I can't remember if the big ones are Bulborbs and these are Bulborbs. But these are the babies of those, so I guess they're all just Bulborbs, these are just baby ones. But basically, when we take those back, this is what I would do when I was a kid. I would make sure my Pikmin got food every day. Even if they didn't need to sprout new Pikmin. I would still be like, no, they need to eat though. So that was something that happened a lot when I was a kid. So here's one of those bridges I was talking about that are very, very dangerous in the GameCube version, I believe. So that's a whole thing. We will get a bunch of that. I think I can go ahead and... I suppose there's not a whole lot of reason in doing that right now, because I can't get over there. So we could take this bridge across, but bridges aren't permanent once they're built. There are some creatures, if I remember correctly, that can destroy them. So if we can't get across anyway, because there's water, because, fun fact, Pikmin drown in water, I can show that off really quickly here. So, let's just collect all of our friends. And do some stuff. I remember one of the games has something called the Pluckaphone, where you can just, use your whistle, which have I even used my whistle yet? Sorry, I'm kind of playing on autopilot here. Zoom out, please. Thank you. So, yeah, if I throw a Pikmin, they'll sit there and they'll go pale, like Olimar mentioned. I can call them with my whistle, and they'll come back to me. But there's an upgrade in one of the games where you can basically use that whistle to pluck things, which is kind of neat. So we can also see another ship part up there, but those friends are going to take that back. We're going to go over here and fight. So if I throw a Pikmin into the water, you get greeted by the horrible sound of them drowning. But you can repeatedly call them and they will be able to be saved. So, since we can't go into water, there's no way for me to do anything with that bridge right now, so we'll just hold off on that. These little baby, Bulborbs here, if you throw a Pikmin directly on their butt, they will die instantly. So that's like a little thing you can do there. Let's see, let's grab you, bring everyone back. So, cool. Alright, what else? What else? They die if you hit them in butt, and all that jazz. I can't remember where else my thoughts were going. They were going somewhere, but currently we're just trying to build up our Pikmin numbers a little bit. I would like to get a part today. I forget exactly how long the days are. I want to say a day is like 20 minutes, but I could very, very well be wrong. But, yeah, we're just trying to get our numbers up. We currently have a whopping 62 Pikmin. Which should make our life pretty easy here. Oop. Come on, everyone. My clock has indicated the coming of noon. From now on, I must pay close attention to the sun meter on my monitor and choose my actions accordingly. So it is best for me to review my monitor's data. Across the top of my monitor, the sun meter and day display. At the bottom of my spacesuit, damage meter and Pikmin gauges. From the left, these numbers reflect Pikmin under my command, Pikmin in the field, and total Pikmin, including those in onions. To adjust my monitor, I can move R to rotate the camera, ZR to zoom, and move it down to look down from R to look down from above. I can also press plus to view a detailed computer analysis. Beautiful. So just getting some more information about our HUD there. All of that stuff is kind of self-explanatory, but like I said, I don't really do the whole walkthrough thing that much, even though this isn't really a walkthrough. But it's always hard for me to remember and mention things that I already know. So, we're doing it though. Oh hey, we have some more grass over here. Why don't we grab some nectar from here? I didn't actually see those bits over here. So, yeah, so I guess the game has basically given us a hint at what one of the types of Pikmin are going to be. So there we go. Got a bunch more flowers. So let's go ahead and grab all of these. And we have 72 Pikmin now. Wonderful, wonderful. So there we go. This is going to be a weird pull, but it's hard to explain, but the model for Olimar down there, it looks a lot different on the GameCube version. And I remember thinking, like, it's hard to explain, and nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about, but I remember when I was a kid, I looked at it totally wrong, and I didn't think Olimar looked like, you know, the, like, weird little, very circular chibi person that Olimar definitely is. To me, it always looked like he was, like, a cool anime man, and I cannot for the life of me explain why I thought that. Okay, well, basically what we want to do, this thing's sleeping. Everybody charge its butt. Boom. So, we almost had a Pikmin get eaten while I was fighting those the baby Bulborbs down there. You'll know because they'll make a screaming noise. They'll be like, eh! And that'll mean they're about to be eaten. Like it's in the creature's mouth. And if you kill them before they actually get eaten, you'll be totally fine. So you can save them, kind of, before they get eaten. And the best way to deal with those big Bulborbs is definitely just to charge their butt. That's usually the best way to do it. That's kind of their weak point. Why, it's the Eternal Fuel Dynamo. It has an unlimited energy supply. I won't have to worry about saving electricity anymore. This will make my fight for survival a bit easier. There we go. So that requires 40, which we do have. We can even throw some extras on there to get it back faster. There we go. So cool. There is our ship part for the day. But yeah, I remember spending like a ton of time here specifically, and I would just start the day up and be like, alright, let's go murder the Bulborbs to get my baby some food. And, you know, by the time I had collected all the pellet posies and everything, and made sure my Pikmin had a good supply of food for the winter, which they don't need, I would then go try and progress. Like I said, it's sort of wholesome in like a haha things kids do way. Video games and just life in general are so much more magical when you're kids. When you're a kid. Eternal Fuel Dynamo. This should light things up. No more candles for me. Now I've recovered 2 out of 30 parts. If I can just find 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Basically what that means is I get access to new areas. So, that's how we unlock new levels, for lack of a better term. Yeah, shit, what was I saying? I don't for the life of me remember. Oh, yeah, it's cute that I did that as a kid, you know. It's just kind of haha funny. I always, when I was a kid, it's one of the main reasons I never really finished Majora's Mask. I was never really good at any video game that had a time limit. I was horrible at time limits. Because when I was a kid, I was absolutely the type of person that would look at everything, appreciate every single thing in the environment as much as I possibly could. That was just me. I liked doing that. So it would take me a very, very long time to go anywhere. Like, I would be running into what is clearly a wall, you know, now that I know better because I'm an adult. I would... No! Nope, saved it. So its child just cried right beside it, a cry of death, but it didn't really seem to give a shit, so... Very bad parenting from this Bulborb. Yeah, so... I would, God, it's so hard to keep track of all my thoughts with everything that's happening and having to explain stuff, but it'll be better once we're a little bit further along and I don't have to explain stuff as much. You two don't actually do that. Sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. Let's do this first. But, oh yeah, that's what it was. I was really, really bad with time limits, and it's one of the main reasons I never finished Majora's Mask, because I would just be rubbing my face into walls thinking there's like a secret passage or something, even though there's nothing there. So I would waste an absurd amount of time doing pointless things, thinking that there's secretly something there, and that was just something I did as a kid. So, hello to our next Pikmin type, Yellow Pikmin. They have long ears. Color is different, but it seems to be a Pikmin nonetheless. First glance suggests this one has what in some circles could be considered very large ears. Looks like it may weigh less than the others. What other ways might it be different from the red Pikmin? I must be sure to observe it closely. You can hold a Pikmin for a moment with A, then swap it for another by pressing R. Okay. So what we want to do here is, let's hold and then swap to a yellow so it can take something back to its onion because we specifically want yellow Pikmin out of this. So we're going to try and up our yellow Pikmin numbers here as much as we possibly can. Yellow Pikmin do of course have other skills that we'll be making use of, but for right now this is what we're going to work on because I want to get their numbers up pretty high, I guess. So, I do believe, as long as Pikmin, at least this is how it worked in, like, 3 and 2, as long as they're around our ship, they should be good and won't be counted as being left behind. Made yet another Pikmin-related discovery. Just when I was about to exceed 100 Pikmin in the field, the onion stopped expelling seeds. Yet the total number of Pikmin continued to climb. It seems that once there are 100 Pikmin in the field, subsequent seeds get stored inside the onion. Thus no more than 100 Pikmin can be in the field at one time in any area. So, something else about kind of Pikmin growth, if you leave them in the ground without plucking them, they will just kind of naturally turn into flowers. So there is a benefit to just, like, not grabbing Pikmin. So that's interesting. My clock is indicating the approach of sunset. Pikmin waiting beneath the dolphin and onions will probably enter the onions on their own. But if I don't call the stragglers and add them to my group, they may not be able to get back. Sure that the Pikmin still planted are safe, but I am somewhat concerned about leaving Pikmin to fend for themselves in the darkness. Yep. So, alrighty, if we look at the map... Do we not actually have a map yet? I thought you could look at the map. But yeah, so we have the max amount of Pikmin. Something I can do really quick is we can grab these. These are bomb rocks. So, give us an explanation here. Yellow Pikmin have picked up some peculiar stones. Why did they decide to grab them? The action seems to be instinctive to the yellow Pikmin. Just what are these strange glowing stones? Brightly glowing cracks cover them. Perhaps these cracks indicate that there's tremendous power locked away within. This merits further research. So, yeah, these are bomb rocks, and yellow Pikmin can use bomb rocks. So, and we need bomb rocks to destroy, these things over here. These, like, kind of stone walls. So you throw a Pikmin, it'll drop a bomb. I think you can... Glowing rocks the yellow Pikmin picked up seem to be explosive stones. Perhaps they know that these stones can be used as powerful weapons. The bomb rocks are dangerous, so I must take care when using them, but they should be able to blast open the stone walls that block the pathways. May even be able to use them against some of the wild creatures. I must be vigilant. When I throw bomb rock carrying Pikmin and give them orders, they will toss their bomb rocks at nearby walls or obstacles. The explosive power of the bomb rocks is tremendous, so I must keep my distance. Yep. So if we toss two, they'll drop them really quickly, and there we go. So that wall will stay down, because it's one of the stone walls. I don't think I have any stragglers. I think everyone else should be chilling at the onion over there. So we should be good. I'll just do a quick look. But yeah, everybody should be good here. So if we like grab all of these, we're good. Cool. So there we go. There's day 2 done. We've already gotten some ship parts. We've already grabbed some yellow, or some Pikmin. The yellow Pikmin have quite a walk to get back to their onion. I'm sorry, little dudes. But, and we destroyed a stone wall. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I've also gotten a lot of my stories and stuff out of the way, so hopefully the next episode will be less hectic and less me forgetting my train of thought. But yeah, see, this is where, if there was a Pikmin there, it would have gotten eaten by that Bulborb, which is incredibly sad. So, 2 days since impact. Appears that many of my ship's parts have landed in this region. If I can just recover the parts of my radar, I should be able to use my radar screen, which is my map, thank God. How that would improve my chances. Then I'd only have to press plus to locate my parts. Yet there seem to be many hostile life forms here. If I'm attacked and my spacesuit takes damage, I must return to my ship. Stand in front of it and press A to make suit repairs. As I explore, I must pay attention to my suit's damage meter in the bottom left corner of the screen. So, another funny thing that I did in Pikmin. I mentioned that I loathed when my Pikmin died. And I mentioned that I never finished the game because I took too long. So you know what I did? When Olimar does the animation of throwing Pikmin, he kind of swings his arms. So, if you have no Pikmin, that's basically treated as a punch. And it does a minuscule amount of damage. What I would do is anytime I had to fight a Bulborb or something, to try and not lose Pikmin, sometimes I would use Pikmin, but sometimes I would be like, no, it's not worth the risk to my babies. I would go punch the wildlife to death with Olimar. And it takes a while to kill a Bulborb just by slapping it with Olimar. I would just slap them to death with Olimar to make sure that I didn't lose any of my babies. And that's why it took me so long, and that's why I never completed Pikmin 1 as a kid. So now that you know what headspace young me was in and just how stupid I was, I think that's a good spot to go ahead and end this episode off. So, hope you've enjoyed our first episode of Pikmin. We've got a lot of Pikmin coming up, because I'm going to be trying to get through Pikmin 1, Pikmin 2, and both of those games before Pikmin 4 comes out, which releases in July. So, it's going to be a Pikmin heavy month. So for people that like Pikmin, enjoy. You're going to be eating at a buffet. So, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more.